Hello, I'm Emily Lohse-Busch. I'm the Executive Director at Arch Grants. Thank you. And I get to stand on this massive, gorgeous stage, once again conceived by creative genius and Arch Grants board member Richard Tao. Thank you, Richard. And tell all of you what an honor it is to lead this organization that represents everything I want and everything I hope for my hometown. But before I do that, I'd like to ask the Arch Grants Board of Directors to stand and be recognized. This is the most passionate, supportive, open group of leaders I've had the pleasure to work with. Thank you for all that you do for our organization and for our city. Many of you will recognize this crew behind me. This is the Arch Grants staff team. Yes, please, big round of applause. Never has the philosophy, hire great people and then get out of their way, been more accurately used than to describe this staff. We have some pretty big ambitions at Arch Grants, and this group of people moves mountains every day with a heck of a lot of heart, a ton of talent, and a healthy sense of humor. And last but certainly not least, I want to thank all of our sponsors for tonight's event, particularly our presenting sponsor, the Fox Family Foundation. As we've all heard throughout the night, the Fox family does so much for our community, and we greatly appreciate your support of our mission. All right, here we go. So if I were to ask you to find the words to describe what innovation sounds like, what images would you try to conjure up? For some of you, it may be the sound of cement pouring into the foundation of a building, or the sound of clicking on a keyboard as code's being written for a new app, or the sound of a heart that's beating thanks to a new piece of equipment that saved a woman's life. For me, it sounds like people asking questions about a new idea, not to challenge, but to expand their own knowledge. The founders who become our recipients live and die by these sounds every day. But what we get to do at Arch Grants in a million different ways every day is ask a slightly different question. While our founders ponder, what does the future sound like? We get to ask, what does our future city sound like? If I were to ask you, what does Silicon Valley sound like? You'd have plenty of ideas about what that sounds like technology, like wealth, like speed, like millionaires walking around sleek offices in hoodies and jeans. What about Austin? What does Austin sound like? Like cutting-edge innovation, quirky hipsters, energetic young people, embracing the weird. Or Boston. Boston's elite. It's proud. It's ambitious. It's academic. What about St. Louis? What do we sound like? What's our unique brand? Words that come to mind for me are things like purpose, humility, hustle, authenticity, potential. But just as important as the words that we currently use to describe our city, I want you to think about what St. Louis could sound like. Because I think we're in a really unique position where we're perfectly positioned to help define the sound of our future here. And we are the people who get to figure that out. Could we represent boldness, confidence, intentionality, curiosity? I don't think it's that much of a stretch. And it's not like we're starting from scratch. We stand on the shoulders of many of the leaders who are in this room tonight, who have shown us that building a company or a movement or a cultural shift isn't about managing. It's about leading. Ambassador Fox exemplifies leadership, as do our past Arch Grant Entrepreneur Award recipients, Jerry Kent, Dave Stewart, Michael Nydorf, Roger Riney, Maxine Clark. Those are some broad shoulders to stand on and to build from. And that's what I think about when I think about Arch Grants, emerging leaders. So with that in mind, I'd like to ask all of you to do a little end state realization with me. The year is 2028, and we're standing up here honoring past Arch Grant recipient, Anna Founder. Anna has just joined Civic Progress and taken a leadership role with a children's organization. And as we honor Anna, we tell the story of her success and the lives that she's impacted. We bring up one of her first employees, Liam, onto the stage to talk about how her vision and her leadership brought him back to St. Louis after he vowed he'd never come back to his hometown. Since coming back and rediscovering his hometown, he's also decided to get into politics, and recently just successfully won a seat as an alderman in his ward, and vows to demand intentionality in the development of that area. We show pictures of the floor she leased when her company got too big for their co-working space in T-Rex and built out 9,000 square feet in an old 1920s building downtown. And then we transition to a picture of the entire downtown building she purchased when she pivoted her company and needed more space. We highlight the groundbreaking articles she's published about how to best motivate and excite employees and the students she's impacted as a professor at WashU. And then we get into her personal life and what it's meant for her to put down roots in St. Louis. How she started a nonprofit organization aimed at bringing the transformative power of music to children and families with limited resources. How she and her partner purchased their first home in Shaw and then their next in Kirkwood. And then we'd start to tug at the heartstrings a bit. We'd bring her three beautiful children on stage with her as we celebrate this great St. Louis leader. But there'd be a surprise, because years ago through her work, she'd met an infant, a complete stranger, in need of a kidney transplant, and donated her kidney so that he could live. We'd definitely bring that kid on stage to give her a hug. We'd stand in awe of her accomplishments and the impact she's had on our city, and remember back to that night in mid-November 2018, when she received her Arch Grant and moved her company and her life to St. Louis. So, Anna's a line drawing, and we've never actually had a recipient named Anna Founder. But every one of the accomplishments and contributions I just noted in that fictional story is a real-life example from one of our recipients. Everything I just mentioned has happened and is happening every day because of this organization. Now think about Anna's story and multiply that by hundreds. Each one a founder who is finding their place in this community because of Arch Grants, specifically because of the support of the people in this room. When you think of it that way, and think of the $173 million in follow-on capital that our companies have generated in just 6 years, and the $135 million in revenue they've generated, and the almost 1,400 jobs they've created, and you look at where that curve is going, then you begin to understand this movement that we're building. But when you lay on top of that the leadership potential of real-life Anna founders like Tandeep Chadha and Ellen Prinzi and Jake Loctus and Melanie Igwe and hundreds of others, you can understand the depth of this movement. Every one of these recipients has a story. They've hired, they've served, they've mentored, they've enriched our community in a million different ways. And that's what it sounds like and looks like and feels like for Arch Grants to transform a region. So back to St. Louis. What do we sound like? We sound like a chorus of builders and creators and disruptors and change makers who are gaining steam and forming the St. Louis of the future. I can say without a moment's hesitation that it's been one of the biggest honors of my life to be a part of that. There's no limit to the things that we can accomplish by propping up and supporting and joining these entrepreneurs that come to our city to build their companies and build their lives. And with that in mind, I have the honor of introducing you to the 2018 cohort of Arch Grant recipients.
We've got some fresh new young talent doing some things that I know you haven't heard before.
1, 2, 3, listen.
Hi, I'm Aiden Livingston, the CEO and founder of ThermoAI, and most people don't realize, but currently power plants operate at 33% efficiency, meaning 2/3 of the energy in the system is wasted. We've developed an artificial intelligence that can optimize real-time production, saving millions in fuel and drastically reducing emissions.
Cohort Tea Company is a national tea company that is on a covert mission to make people feel good. We are committed to demystifying the world of herbs by pioneering traceability through scale and direct trade.
Balto helps large enterprise customer service, sales, collections, and other compliance teams improve revenue and save calls. And what our software does is understand phone conversations and in real time tell the agents in these big call centers what to say as the call is happening.
CheckTheQ tracks wait times in real time at venues like airports and stadiums, helping those venues not only improve their revenue, but also transform their customers' experiences.
Max is the ultimate mobile application that physicians are using daily to explain to patients their condition and treatment options using imagery that can be personalized, videos, prediction tools, and much more.
My name is Yulkendi Valdez, and I'm the co-founder of Forefront. In the next 10 years, the workforce is going to be 75% millennials, and millennials are the most diverse generation ever. We help businesses and their leaders get the cultural competence skills they need to manage in an ultra-diverse workforce.
At Generation Mindful, we make tools, toys, and programs that nurture emotional intelligence. People are out there, they're overwhelmed, they're confused about how do I take the brain science of attachment connection and raise my child in the best way. And what we do is we take the science and we make it simple and we make it fun.
Gift2Meal is a mobile app that helps provide a meal to someone in need each time someone snaps a photo at a partner restaurant. So we're a blend of restaurant marketing and giving back. Restaurants pay a monthly subscription to be on our app, and each time someone takes a photo, we make a donation to a local food bank that helps provide one meal to a pantry so someone in need could access it.
Good Life Growing is a social enterprise focused on combating urban decay and food insecurity by way of urban agriculture. We use a number of sustainable growing techniques ranging from organic soil to hydroponics to aquaponics, which is what we're basing our entire Arch Grant proposal on.
HiHo mobility. We provide on-demand shared work fleets with assets and supplies. Plumbers, electricians, etc., who are working on a campus can request rides to go anywhere on campus. The problem we're solving is that a lot of these vehicles are underutilized. So in addition to that, we're actually making the technicians more productive.
Parlor is a customer collaboration program designed to transform the way that software companies engage their users in order to better build their products. Now, through Parlor, these software teams can validate the impact of all the new potential feature ideas they're considering building before they write a single line of code.
Hi, I'm Gabriel Murillo, founder of Podcast Press, and we're our all-in-one podcast platform for brands, and we help them plan, produce, and promote audio content for smart devices.
SpenDebt is a financial technology company designed to assist people to pay off debt, leveraging micropayments through everyday transactions. Currently in the market today, you can spend and save with most banks, or you can spend and invest with other financial technology companies. But we have created a third category, allow people to spend and pay off debt at the same time.
WifiPlug is an app-controlled smart plug. What that basically means is you can plug any appliance into it and make it smart. Take a lamp, for example. Plug that in, download our app, and you can use it with Siri, Alexa, Google, if this then that, and anyone else really, because the unique feature about our plug is our API. We built the API platform from scratch, meaning we can integrate with new partners for demand response for energy companies and other B2B companies around the world.
So Clever is a platform that lets anyone list their home for either a flat fee of $3,000 if the home is less than $350,000, or 1% if the home is more expensive.
Equine Smartbit integrates advanced sensors into HorseBit. It provides real-time biometric data to accurately measure the horse's health. Our technology replaces guesswork with the scientific data and also send an alert when the vital signs are below the mid-optimum.
Each year, companies leave $20 billion of cash and tax credits on the table. This is money available to them that many don't even know that they're eligible for. IncentiLock has built a software that manages the compliance that's necessary to actually collect that money. We take a very tedious and time-consuming process and make it super simple. We're H&R Block for incentives.
OB is an IoT platform for pet health and wellness. Our first product is the patented OB Pro Bowl. Pro Bowl combines a dishwasher-safe bowl with a smart base that connects via Wi-Fi to your phone. It tracks your pet's eating and drinking habits so you can share the data with your vet, and it automatically reorders your pet food for you. And what's even better, the data that we gather is incredibly valuable to the pet industry, and they're already using it to create more targeted and personalized products and services.
Hundreds of millions of kids around the world aren't being educated in reading in the way that they need or deserve. I'm going to change that. My name is Alex Tavares. My company is T-var EdTech. Our flagship product is the ReadRead, the first device that allows kids to independently learn how to read.
SwipeSum is the first and most transparent place online for any business to find the best credit card processing solution for their unique business setup at the best price.
Please welcome the founders of our 2018 cohort of Arch Grant recipient companies. And it got cut off a little at the bottom there, but thanks to both Bayer and Wells Fargo advisors for naming grants for this year, for 2018.
Hi, my name is Dheeraj Patri. I am the founder of Label Insight, and this is Ronak Sheth, our CEO. Before I get to what they asked me to do, I should note that in 2012, when we won an Arch grant, all of us were shoved on a stairwell because they wanted to take a picture. This is quite different. It's quite a show that you guys have thrown here. But one thing that isn't different is the level of excitement that we felt. And it is great to see that excitement continue today and even grow. And for that, I'm very grateful to all of you, and I'm very grateful to be part of this story of Arch grants. I guess I should get to what they asked me to say. On behalf of the 2012 Arch Grants recipient cohorts, I want to congratulate all of you and welcome you to this elite club. What you should know is there are hundreds of startups before you and thousands of people in this community who support Arch grants, and now they support you. Our business, our trajectory was changed almost immediately after we won an Arch grant, and I sincerely hope that happens to you as well. Congratulations, and thank you so much.
Good evening. So the next part of the evening is where the
rubber really hits the road. This incredible celebration that we all just took part in to welcome the newest entrepreneurs to Arch Grants would not be possible without the generous support of everyone in this room and the St. Louis community. Dheeraj and I know firsthand what that feels like and the meaning that it can create for a business like ours. As Dheeraj mentioned, we were an inaugural recipient in 2012. We've gone on to raise $35 million in capital and employ over 50 people in the St. Louis community. Also, because we know how meaningful it can be, we're one of the sponsors, and we're excited to be one of the sponsors of Arch Grants, a company that's been touched by the organization and now giving back. So for this next part, I'm hopeful to see lots and lots of hands in the air as we ask for some audience participation. Thank you very much.